in other circumstances, in other years, or maybe in the future, when we have a hopefully much larger team, I won't do it like this, right? But in this case, I wanted to start off with our letter winners, and that's everybody, right? Because we didn't have any JPs, so we can't win. Okay, so this, right? All of these girls, they've all earned the right to be varsity letter winners. They all wrestled varsity all year. You know, there was no hiding. There was no feeling out point. Like, let me just get used to this sport, and then maybe someday I'll be varsity. They were all thrown to the wolves immediately, and they all took that challenge pretty well, I would say. So, our letter winners, right? And don't sit down yet, because some of them, most of them, we have a pretty young team, are all first-time letter winners, and hopefully it's the first of many. I know you girls that are from Dowling, you have Urbandale letters as well, so, you know, congratulations, you get double the letters. You guys thought it was going to be a big deal, and here you are, you got 2 letters, so you're in the place. Anyway, so I also want to just keep them up here to celebrate a big fact that I take great pride in, because parents, if you came to the parent meeting at the beginning of the year, you know it wasn't just wrestling, it wasn't just athletics that I was interested in. Next. It was also character, right? I wanted to send the girls back to you better than you sent them to me, right? Character, academics, I wanted to take care of things in school, and that's what I want to recognize, because I honestly, to tell the truth, didn't even know until today. I knew we had a lot of academic all-conference girls, a lot of great achievements academically on an individual level, but I did not realize that as a team, we the highest achievement we possibly could get that the Girls Union gives out is the Academic Distinguished Achievement Award, and we have a 3.41 team GPA, which is a really, really great accomplishment. You know, and wrestling stuff aside, like I said, I mean, wrestling's a small part. I'm coaching these high school girls, right? Wrestling is a small piece of what I'm here for. Like I said, it's the other things, the character development, you know, setting them off, being better women into the world. Okay, so that academic piece for them to show that character and show that drive, not just on the wrestling mat, but in the classroom, that's very important. So, great team. So you girls can have a seat, because I'm gonna go with the visual team.
Bringing the GPA down, man.
I missed your last couple of years. I'll have to do whatever they want to sound.
Hey, I have a 94 at Urbandale.
All right, so I'm going to call up some names here, and you're going to come up and grab your your academic all-conference packet. It also has your letter in it, but I'll get everybody their letter later, and we're going to give you that. And then afterwards, we'll take pictures, do all that stuff with that. But for now, everything's in a packet together, so you don't lose it. Right? Okay, so Abby Flaherty. I'm going to say K, Martina K. So, when they come up and grab their stuff, I'm just going to give a little. You actually got it right. All right. Maybe I'll find it. That's Blades. Why don't you just bring that to Blades with her? Okay, and we'll speak more on this one later because she couldn't be here, but Ella Onlicker also. Berlin Schackner. Brooklyn Anderson. Sophia Pollard. Yeah, come back here. Lady Drown. Brown Pam. Yes, his name is Martina Kovalchukova. Cox. She is not here, I don't think. She's sick, okay. All right. And Jayla Wills. Okay. You want to take it? You want to take Tori's? Okay. So those are all these girls. They're not just let me finish. There you go. See, that's on him. Okay, so listen up. All these girls, right? They're not just athletes; they do the other thing too. Okay, the school, right? The darn school that some of them love so much. Okay, so again, we all know that that's a big piece, right? Most of these girls, not all of them, because I know some of them have some big goals, but most of these girls, wrestling is a very, very small part of their life, right? So academics, as we all know, parents, we've all been there before, right? It's important, right? Whether you want to go to college, whether it's setting you up for life later, whatever it is, it's important. They crushed it. Congratulations to them. Okay. Again, we're just going to keep it moving because we have some awards that I want to give out to the girls, do pictures and all that, but I wanted to give an opportunity to have my assistant, Bradley Fair, speak for you parents that, you know, we're at the team meeting. Yeah, go ahead, do that. For those of you parents that were at the parent meeting but maybe weren't around as much, right? Some of you might not have met her yet, but Coach Fair joined us a little late. She's been a wrestling fan her entire life. Her brother's wrestled. However, she did not. Okay, but you know, through some trial and error, right? We figured things out together. She's been a big help to me, so I want to give her a chance to say
So Michael probably took half my speech with that intro, but when a lot of the girls asked me if I'd ever wrestled before, a lot of them know I said no. And part of that's because I only wrestled 3rd through 5th grade. So I did the Little Knights Kid Club, but then I aged out because I did not have this opportunity that you have. And I cannot tell you how special that this was. In a sport that it takes and it takes and it takes, there's not a lot of give to it. But it was really special to be able to watch half of you who've never done a sport before find that confidence, that little bit of personality change that we've seen. And then for those of you who have wrestled before, actually build more techniques, set those goals, and keep striving. And then for all of you, it was really great to watch you slowly and quickly fall in love with a sport that I have loved for forever. So I moved from Illinois and I moved away from my family, my wrestling family, and it was really special for me to be able to move here and be a part of this new family. As Moreno said, we are a young team, both in your grades and how we got started. Again, I was hired, if you remember that first scramble at Waukee, I did not run. They said, you're hired at 1:30, and then at 6:30 I was sitting in the corner, never met any of the girls. They'd call the names and be like, okay, who's this? Megan? Great. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what we can do moving forward. I know Michael wasn't hired too much more before the season, but with such a young team and actually having a real off season, I'm excited to see what we can do next year.
All right, we're moving right along. Okay, so got a lot of awards up here. Obviously, there's not a single girl on this team that we could have afforded to lose. I mean, at bottom line, right? So call it what you want, but we're honoring everybody tonight. Everybody did something. Everybody played a role. Okay, and again, we lose lose one of these girls, and the way our team function probably changes massively, right? Everybody brought something to the table a little bit different. Some a lot different, but everybody brought something a little bit different. Okay, so we're gonna kind of work our way up. I wanted to recognize this first girl. She's not with us long, right? She's leaving us really quickly. Okay, but she decided to give it a shot in her senior year. She's gonna see what wrestling's all about, right? See what it's all about. And got 1 year left. What can it hurt? Things didn't really go away that she might have wanted them to, right? She didn't get a lot of opportunities. She didn't get to suit up as much as her teammates did, right? And we had a conversation, I don't know, maybe a week before regionals. She comes in and she's like, I'm gonna quit because I don't think I'm gonna get cleared to compete, and I just think that I just think I'm gonna quit. I told her, you're not. I refuse your resignation because that's not what you want. I know it's not what you want, and you put in the work just like every other girl on this team. You deserve to see it through. You deserve to see it to the end. And whether that means you compete again or you never step foot on that again, that's irrelevant. But you deserve to be a part of this team. And she's taken that in stride. Towards the last couple of weeks of the year, she was there. She came to practices when she couldn't train. She came to meets when she couldn't wrestle. Right? She's there to support her teammates. She comes to regionals. She gives rides. She's just there. She's there to support everybody, right? And that's why the Big Sister Award, because again, the Big Sister Award, Mr. Chapter, come on up. All right. Okay. So next one. This is another one that if we didn't have her on the team, in my opinion, it would have been really drab, right? It would have been a bummer of a year, and every single day I knew that it was going to be interesting with her in practice. And every single day I knew that I was going to, my patience were going to be tested. But every single day I knew I was gonna smile. I was gonna smile. There was gonna be something positive that came out of my day, and it's irrelevant. It had nothing to do with wrestling. Most of the time, it had nothing to do with me or with a teammate or anything. But it was just them, right? And they found a way to brighten up your day, and they found a way to frustrate you at the same time. But at the end of the year, right? Because again, I've told all of these girls countless times, the sport's all about growth and change and becoming the best version of you, right? And throughout the season, as time went on, I got more and more used to her, to her and how she communicates and everything, and she became one of my favorite girls on the team, right? I don't have time to worry about it. Okay. She brings a light and an exuberance to the team that is hard to find, right? And she might not have had the success yet, but the fact that she just kept showing up every Monday, she just kept showing up, right? I mean, some rough results, right? Kept coming in, kept showing up, putting in the work with a smile, right? Making us smile, right? I mean, if you can do that, you can keep showing up every Monday, then life is going to be okay. Like I told all of you parents at the beginning, this is more than wrestling, it's for life, right? It's for later. So, the person to me that showed the biggest change over the year, who's grown into a person that for me is just utterly unrecognizable because of the growth and the confidence and everything that they've gained from this experience, is Jayla Willis. I'm calling this butterfly award because of the change, the utter change that we've seen. So we'll keep it moving. This next one is going to be a two. We have two people receiving it. One is a Dowling product. One is an Urbandale product, and I'll touch on the Dowling Urbandale thing in a little bit. But both of these girls, we call this the Jayhawk Award, and this is for somebody that, and a lot of these have a lot of crossover. I'm not going to lie to you. The Jayhawk Award for me is somebody that they show what it means, right? Show what it means to be the student athlete, right? The academics, the athletics. They're on time. They're about it. When it's time to work, they're there to work. Ironically, both of these girls were practice partners all year. They were practically inseparable, probably the most inseparable pair I think we had all year. Well, you and Brooklyn are kind of hard. But outside of that, they trained every day together. They worked hard together. There were never any excuses. I never had to go over and get on them about how hard they were working. They do what needs to be done every day. I don't really have to ask them to do that, right? So, double Jayhawk awards go to Lainey Drown and Abby Flick. All right, so we've had quite a bit of ups and downs with the injury bug this year. We've dealt with some injuries and concussions and all those sorts of things. And bottom line, life's not fair, right? So we don't always get the opportunities that we want, right? That's why they always tell you to seize the opportunities when they come. However, this next recipient never really let it get her down, right? She showed up, kind of like Berlin, still showed up and supported her teammates, but she took it always a little step further. I could always hear her in the corner behind me, literally right behind me. And that's the Spirit Award, and it goes to Riggsy. But for real, Riggsy gets this award because it's not easy. It's not easy working really hard in practice and then not getting to compete, right? But she showed up and she supported her teammates in it. Oh yeah, everybody did that. Okay, next one. This is for somebody that I call it the Captain's Award. It could be construed as a coach's award or whatever, but ultimately it's somebody that they bring to the table all the tools that a leader should have, right? They can lead with their voice, and this girl has definitely done that, or they can just lead with their actions, and this girl has done that tenfold, right? Go into a boys practice, and the girls know that our practices start till 4, and boys practice starts at 3:30, but I tell them, hey, you get there early, jump into that boys practice. I get there at 3:30, and this girl is always there. She's always there warming up. She's doing everything with the boys. She's doing the sprints with the boys. The boys got to run sprints because they were late to class. Has nothing to do with her. She doesn't even go to Urbandale High School, but she's running the sprints because she's a natural born leader. She does the little things right, and she does them to her fullest capability. And again, I mean, I can say it like a broken record over and over again, but that's what this is all about, right? Finding that little piece inside you that's going to push the extra mile to accomplish your goals to be successful. Okay, so the Captain's Award is Brooklyn Anderson. All right, this one will be quick. Not here. Okay, but I'm giving Victoria, and if anybody's recording this, you can send it to her. I don't see any recording. But Victoria, she gets most improved. Victoria gets most improved. I mean, to me, this is kind of a subjective one, but I think just looking at it from when she first got there, because Victoria was an OG. She was showing up to open mats in the fall, like early fall, like late summer, early fall, like before, it was 3 of them that were really showing up consistently to those open mats early on. And when she first got there to now, it's night and day. A girl that couldn't even focus on the technique we were doing to like being like genuinely like mean on the mat. And that's, I know that sounds bad, but as a wrestling coach, I mean, I want her to be mean on the mat. That's great for me. So to me, the improvement there was great. It was great to see. So Victoria Lecoq is the most improved wrestler, and I'll be back. Okay, so I said the captain's award could be like the coach's award, but the coach's award for me is different than a captain award because it's what you want to coach. Like, I want to hire this person. I want to, this person, they bleed all the qualities that you want to see in a good employee or, in this case, a good athlete, right? So, to me, Tina is she's who you want to coach, right? She knows respect. She knows she understands that what I say goes, and she understands that sometimes maybe our room is getting a little out of hand. Maybe everybody needs to be quiet and maybe calm everybody down. And again, she does everything right, and she helps us. She makes our job easier. When we have someone like Tina on the team, we can bounce some of our stuff onto her, right? Like, hey, this needs to tighten up, and we know that we can tell her that, and she'll go take care of that, right? So, Coach's Award was to Martina. Okay, so this next one is it's a tough one. This next one's a tough one. I call it used to be the tough guy. I gotta change it. So I'm just calling it toughness. This girl, we already know who it is. I think it's not a mystery. But anybody in here ever had any shoulder problems before? They're not fun. It's not easy. I've had my brother, myself, known a lot of people, a lot of other wrestlers that have dealt with shoulder injuries in the past, and for a lot of people, a blown shoulder, a torn labrum, that's it. Your season's done. You're getting surgery. You're getting surgery, and it's over. It's a wrap. Okay. But this girl, she wants it so damn bad. She just wants to wrestle. And she just wants to compete. She just wants to be successful. And for me, that's hard. That's hard to find. Even coaching boys, and it sounds easy, but that's hard to find. Somebody that will do whatever it takes. Will run through a brick wall. Will wrestle with immense pain just for a chance at succeeding. Right? And to me, that's special. And she's young. She's got a long career ahead of her, and I know she's got some big goals wrestling in college someday, so I think this will probably be in her rearview mirror someday, right? So I don't think this is the last award she'll be winning. But again, another pleasure to coach, and that's Sophia Paul. Okay, we got two more. Okay. All right. This next one, these sound the same. Remember, there's a lot of crossover here. I have the most valuable wrestler. For me, this is somebody that they show up, right? They're able to compete, and again, not all the time we can control, right? When we're injured, when we're not. But this wrestler didn't miss a whole lot. Barely missed any practices, right? Barely missed any competitions. Basically, you're there every time. So when I hear the word valuable, right, you show your value. You're always there, right? You're always wrestling. You're always competing. You're always saving his points. Very little did she give up pins and duels. On some occasions, she was the lone winner of some duels, right? So to me, right, one of our most valuable assets on the team is somebody that had a little bit of experience. We had two girls with experience coming into the year, and she's one of them. And to me, and again to Fair and to the team, right? That is invaluable. Having someone that kind of gets it a little bit is a big deal. So again, she's young, also young, right? We've got a very young team, and she's gonna continue to grow. And I know she came up a little short on her goals this year, but she's gonna continue to grow, and she's gonna be just fine. So our most valuable wrestler is Megan Blitz. All right, now it's a bummer that she's not here, but I think we all know who it is, but I'll kind of go on a little thing about it. I have a most outstanding wrestler, which is just completely achievement-based, right? And goes without question that Ella Hanlicker was probably the highest achiever on the team this year. I wish she could be here because, again, I was just telling my wife, and I'll say this little anecdote and I'll get it past. She kind of like scared me a little bit at first. I'm not gonna lie. She was probably one of the last girls I made a connection with. One of the last girls that I really felt like I understand and just talk to and get along. I came to find out that that was because she makes you earn it, right? And that was more than okay with that because when I finally got to know her, I finally got to see what makes her tick. I think that's when she turned the corner as well. I think when we made that connection as coach and athlete, that's when she kind of saw like, whoa, I could be okay at this. And she really went on a tear there at the end, right? She beat a bunch of girls she'd never beaten before, pretty badly, right? Had a setback at regional. I told her before regional, like, I don't know if she even believed me then, but like, hey, like, I've been in this game a long time. Like, I've seen a lot of wrestling, like, pretty good, but take it from me. And she gets to regionals, she loses the opening round, and she just tears back, beats a girl she's never beaten before, beats the girl that just beat her in the first round, slaps her up, punches her ticket to the state tournament, and is a match away from placing at the state tournament. She'd been wrestling for a month and a half, tops, because she joined us late, there was an injury in the fall. Month and a half, 2 months at the absolute most, right? And some of that is Christmas break, right? So her experience level was very low, but for her to take this sport and really attach to it and make it hers, that was really special to see, and it's something that I'm going to cherish for a long time because I love wrestling, and I want people to love wrestling as well. Like, I want everyone to see what I see in the sport, and at first I didn't think she saw that, but I think she does now. So, most outstanding wrestler is Ella. So that's it. So like I said, I think I don't know what time it is, but just with some closing remarks about the season, and then I'll let everybody get out of here. We take pictures before you leave if you want. I'm not gonna make you. But obviously, like I've told all of you before, but I'll never get tired of saying it, but this isn't possible without parents like yourselves. I think one of the biggest fears I had getting into high school sports were the parents, right? That's what I hear all the time. It's like, oh, the parents, man, we're gonna go with parents. Okay, like, I think I'll be all right, or whatever. So it's a little spooky, and I have no complaints this year. I really don't. Your parents have been amazing. Everybody just willing to support your girls. I mean, not just support me, like me, whatever. I think Stan will be all right, but to support your girls in this endeavor is a big deal. And I have to thank you for them because they're young, they're not going to see it yet. They will someday. But that is a big deal, right? I know it's 2023, and I know it's times are changing, but we all know that people still give those looks, right? And I know I've talked to the girls about it, a few of them about it, about how, like, you just let that roll off your shoulder, right? It just doesn't matter, okay? So for your parents to stay locked in and support them in this, and our whole team, it's been great. And I'm truly appreciative of that for them. I'm truly appreciative of it for me too, but again, we didn't have the experience this year that we had without your parents. The Downey Urbandale thing, I wanted to come back to that. I'm very, 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 very proud of what we've done this year as a team. And that is saying a lot considering I think the first 2 weeks of the season was almost exclusively spent putting out Urbandale Downey fighters. And I don't say that to be cheeky, I'm serious. problem. I mean, these two girls, these two sets of girls, they're both prideful about where they come from, about where they go to school. You know, some of you are legacies, right? Some of you have parents that went to this school or that school, right? It was a big deal. There's pride. There's pride in where you attend school, right? Where you know, the letter you're wearing across your chest and all that. At the end of the day, I brought them all together, and we decided that, you know, it's not about what's across your chest, right? We're all in this unit together. It's about our common struggle, right? We're all struggling through the same practice. We're all struggling to finish that last rep, or that last sprint, or that last takedown, or those shot sprawls at the end of practice when we're exhausted and we don't want to stay in our stance, but we have to. We're all doing those things together. So regardless of what you're wearing on your jacket or across your chest, right? We're a team. And we might not know what to call that, right? Sometimes we're down Dale, sometimes we're better together, you know, whatever. We might not have a concrete hashtag, right? And it might be a non-named team, but we are a team. And there's no doubt about it. And I just couldn't be more proud to be your coach, because I've gone through a lot to get to this point, and I didn't think I would be feeling that way. And here I am. I'm very, very proud, and I wouldn't have it any other way. And thank you all. Right, I'm talking to the parents anymore, I'm talking to you girls. Thank you for allowing me to coach you. And I'm super freaking excited for the future. We're not done, right? Sorry, Berlin, sorry, Tina, but we gotta move on without you. And we're not done. We're gonna keep getting better. Keep an eye out for all the, I guess all the spring stuff I'll send out. But otherwise, thanks for coming, and I hope, you know, the girls got the celebration they deserve, because they do deserve a lot. Because it takes a lot of courage to do this, and this new thing, right? Not just a new thing, but it's also wrestling. Wrestling's hard. They'll tell you. Wrestling's hard, right? To have the courage to do it and step on the line, they've not just, right, gained courage, right, but they've gained my respect and fair respect. And I'm a wrestling guy, so it's kind of hard for me to really like, no, these girls have my respect. They towed the line. A lot of people won't toe the line a day in their life. They do. So again, thank you for coming, and let's get better.